Good morning everyone and welcome back to the vlog. It is so cold now here in the farm, hence the jacket. I have a new hairstyle for December, but a lot of projects are happening. The FD RX7 is finally getting a wiring system done. We have the AIM PDM32 system. This is the same system I used for Vicky. This is a relay-less and fuse-less system. It's basically a digital solid-state wiring system that we're going to be able to wire in with some new wiring right here into the FD RX7. I have the boys from Classic Speed coming up to help me. We have a few projects on the line. We have the VW Baja Bug, which needs to be wired, and also the Jet Boat V8 needs to be wired, and also the FD RX7 needs to be wired, and also the Defender has some new panels. The car looks so good now. Thank you so much to Second Skin. I did find these panels on eBay, so we're going to be replacing these panels here. We have some carbon grills to stick on the side panel here, and then I have some black lug bolts, so that's going to be very easy. Down the line we're going to have to assemble the SLS GT3 project soon, so this is going to go down to Manila. We are actually going to bring this to our little space in Evangelista so that we can try to convert and use the original panels that are damaged already. So instead of 3D printing the whole car's body kit, we decided to use the damaged panels and then maybe mold that instead, because that's going to speed up the process. We do have one fender that's being 3D printed, which is the right front fender, just to test it out. So this car has to go to Manila so that we can assemble it. The TCU from Wistek, the TCU is the transmission control unit. This has arrived back from the US. This has gotten reflashed, so it's going to shift much faster now. That's such a mouthful, but if the electricians have some spare time, which I don't think they will have, I want to check on the McLaren. The McLaren still is driving me nuts. Anyway, we're going to go down to the lower garage now so you guys can see the Volkswagen Baja project and the Jet Boat. Norman has made some good progress with both of them, so let's go check it out. These are my farm trucks. They're so much fun. They have dumping beds and they just go anywhere. They're four-wheel drive also. The lower garage is a complete mess. I do apologize in advance. So the Volkswagen Baja project, as you can see, the final headers have been assembled. Norman has welded on the header collectors along with the Stinger style exhaust. Now this should be a trumpet so that it can basically be a louder volume. So what's going to happen is the wiring of everything is going to be put on. I do have some brake lights that I need to install, so we're going to bring that out so that Norman can install that also. I do want to upgrade the rear suspension to be an independent rear suspension, because this looks like the swing axle, which is pretty terrible for the design that we want. So we're gonna have to work our way and buy a new gearbox also, because I heard from Jed that this gearbox won't hold. Norman was also able to install the PIA fog lights on top, although we do need 2 more fog lights somewhere. I think we might mount the PIA fog lights here just so that we have extra lights on standby. The Jet Boat we've been working on for so long. Norman has done such an amazing job. The 8-to-1 header collector system is so crazy, and yeah, the electricians just need to wire this all in. Hopefully this will be finished soon. Again, I have extra help from Classic Speed. They are experts in the older engine. We put an EFI system here, so this is going to be wired in, and hopefully we get to crank it today. I definitely have to do some spring cleaning here. This is a complete mess. Totally forgot, the RB26 has to go down to Classic Speed already so we can install this in the 240Z. The valve covers are here, the spark plugs are here, the half moons are also here, and that all needs to go back together, although I don't know how the baffle system works. And I have this box plus the turbo kit that all needs to go down to Classic Speed already. So lots of things need to happen before we leave the country, and hopefully we can get this going also, because that's another project that I want to see on the road. You guys have been asking what's up with the R32. Nothing is happening to the R32 yet. We are going to be doing an engine swap in this. The whole harness is out already, because we will be wiring in a PDM system also in this car. Now I'm going to be wiring in the transmission control unit, because I was the one who removed this. For those of you who don't know, the transmission controls unit sits on the driver's side of the trunk. So I had to mail the whole transmission control unit to Wistek, and they basically reflashed it to shift faster. Okay, first objective installed. Hopefully this works. We're gonna wait for Norman so that we can close up the whole rear. It's gonna install the taillights and stuff. So we're just gonna leave this closed just for a moment. We do need to install the shocks. The front shock might be easier than the rear shock. Let's get that done. Okay, we're gonna wait for Norman because the front arm has to get dropped and he was the one who removed it, so we'll wait for them to arrive and then he can figure that out. So the springs are being welded on now by Norman, and then Mark and Janar are doing the wiring for the EFI system. We're going to wire in the fuel pump system also. We had to put a fuel pump feeder from the fuel tank in front. We're going to route the coolant lines first just to the side so that we can just test the engine. I think basically we can put a hose somewhere here so that we can feed the water in so that we can crank it and start it while it's on the land. So we're going to mount this over there. And Norman's going to mount the oil cooler underneath the wing. We have this system that we got online. It's the same system that we have for the Skyfiro. It's a race wire system. It comes with its own switches and activators ready. Headlights have been mounted. Maybe I should give in to your boy. We don't have power. Checking if we have a corroded system.
Di tayo naka-timing. Gumunag pa ako tayo. Balik mo.
So the EFI is working, the engine is cranking, but our timing is off. That's why we're having a lot of backfire. So they're trying to figure out the top dead center now. I just had to wash my hands because it smelled like fuel, and maybe we can try to crank it again in a bit. They got the timing and it started. I'm going to go feed the horses, and then after that I'm going to show them the RX7 and the PDM32 because we have to go down tomorrow for Joey's checkup, and then after that we'll be back in the farm to continue this vlog, so don't go anywhere. Okay, open. Okay, ended up explaining everything here. Have our diagram, or at least guideline, canvas system. So basically we're going to wire in the engine control systems from Mad Mike's car. So the engine still has not been mounted. We got to figure out a lot of things, but basically figuring out all the wiring also so that we can get more progress with the car. Just did a briefing with Mark, Janar, and Norman. Basically we're going to do a base layout on the RX7, hooking up the PDM, trying to figure out the Haltech system. We're gonna go down for a day tomorrow, so I won't have any updates for tomorrow, but rest assured when I get back on Wednesday we're gonna be working with them again to figure out the car. Welcome back. As you can see, Norman is finished with the SLS AMG. It is running. The TCU works because the car is moving on its own. No fault codes. The Range Rover just moved forward, and we are going to take out the Land Rover tomorrow. Norman is also finished with the little details. Look at that. That needs to be matte wrapped. And then we installed the side grills. That looks so good also. That needs to be matte wrapped. And then the black lug nuts. Actually, it's like a chrome black, but it does look good. I really hated those plastic things. This looks much better, much more aggressive. It actually complements the intake of the hood. We just need to matte film it and then maybe gray it out also because it is black, but then again it does go with the black face, so maybe we'll keep it. I actually have not done any help, and as you can see, they've laid out some wiring already. We're gonna try to jump in and see how the engine harness goes. We are loading the RV26.
Love's for beginners, ain't no witness. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama.
That is it. The RV26 is loaded. It's headed down to classic speed so that they can mount it in the 240Z. Let's summarize what happened this weekend. The FD RX7 got the PDM system. The Haltech system is also installed already. We're not final yet with the wiring, but most of the sockets are laying around. We basically laid out the engine harness also for the 4-rotor. And we have the basic body wiring already on. The taillights are actually all plugged in already. The Haltech ECU system is sitting over there. We're not going to finalize anything just yet because the mechanical team needs to come back so that they can fix the motor mounts. The SLS is also ready to go down, so we're going to do the GT3 wide body kit for that. The jet boat is running. I'm so happy about that. And then the Land Rover has this and that and the side vent. So pretty busy week. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I'll see you guys again in the next video.